We're bottling hard seltzer today, guys. What's going on? Big Rob and Make Beer Easy. I teach people how to make beer easily without all the complicated BS. Today, guys, we are bottling the hard seltzer. This is 1 gallon hard seltzer, craft brew. I've got their instructions here. First time I've ever done hard seltzer. You can click on, under this video, I'll put the link to the brew day of this video so you can look at it. Craft brew hard seltzer, yeah. I can't even remember. I fermented it for at least 2 weeks, might have been close to 3. Nice and clear. I just took it out of the cold crash. A cold crash will last 2.5, 3 days. Nice and clear. Little, almost wine tint to it. And that's because instead of using distilled water, I used my tap water, which is on the well, and has minerals in it. So hence the little bit of kind of like a wine color. Next one I will use distilled, but I'm very happy with how clear it is. It was even clear before I put it in cold crash. It's a cold crashing. I'll put the link under this video. You can go watch that cold crashing video as well. It's a real short one. Cheers. I am thirsty. Get it into you. So we're gonna do some interesting things. We got our beer bottles. We're bottling this bad boy. 1 gallon. I got 8 of them sanitized, all star sand up, filled with star sand, ready to go. What I'm going to do is the instructions tell you they provide you with flavoring in a pack. It's grapefruit. Nobody in my group who drinks seltzer, I don't drink seltzers. I will have one of these bad boys. But nobody in my group who drinks seltzer wants grapefruit. So we're not going to do what they tell you to do. And I will tell you what they tell you to do. What they tell you to do is to take this, put the seltzer in a pot on the stove, and then bring it up to, I think it was, anyway, it says heat the water. So just heat the water, get it nice and warm, and then drop the. Actually, what you do first is you add the sugar. So just normal table sugar. 1 cup of water, exactly 2 tablespoons of white table sugar. So that's what's going to, when it goes into the bottles, there's still yeast in here. It's going to come back to life, and it's going to, the sugar, when it's in the mixture, will bring the yeast back to life, and it will eat the sugar, create a little bit of alcohol, not much, but more importantly, it'll provide the CO2, which carbonates the seltzer. So they tell you, put it on a pot, put the sugar in, bring it to a boil, actually, which I'm not doing any of this. And then they say, add the mixture, then let it all cool down, dump this stuff into it once it's cooled down, and then stir it up, and then put it in the bottles. Not doing that. What I'm going to do is I am going to, I've got my siphon. I'm going to go directly from the fermenter into the bottles. Before I do that, I of course empty the star sand out. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of sugar in each one of these, okay? Then I'm going to add my flavoring, and I'll talk about that in a second. Then I will siphon the seltzer into it, and we will let her sit for 2 weeks at room temperature and let it carbonate. So again, the primary reason why I'm doing that, first of all, I don't like the idea of dumping this into a pot. I mean, we're talking about oxygen getting in and all that stuff. So I have this sealed when I put it in the my kegerator, Danby freezer with an ink bird that brings it down to fridge temperatures. I put a piece of just cling wrap, saran wrap, tin foil, what have you. This is actually a sandwich bag over the hole, and I taped it down so no oxygen can get in. Okay, so what we're going to do, I haven't quite got it dialed in yet, but I'm going to do that once I push pause on this video. For flavoring, we have 4 different options. I am going to do 1 bottle. If I can figure out how to, I'll make that into 8. That's what we'll do. And I'll probably use the grapefruit. I might not, because I might have to melt that up, and I don't want to do it. So what I have is Brewer's Best natural flavoring for beer and wine. It's black cherry. Going to try, let's call it 2 bottles with that. And then I have Bubly, which is for the soda streams, which is for seltzer, just not hard seltzer. So I thought I'd try that. And again, I have cherry Bubly for this one. And then I have, what is this one? Peach Bubly. So we'll do 2 bottles, 2 bottles, 2 bottles. And then I'm going to leave no flavoring in 2 of the bottles, so it'll just be carbonated seltzer. And what I'm going to do, you might see over here, I got myself some Mios. Okay, I did a video where I said you could flavor beer with Mio, and I got some funny reactions. True story, you can absolutely flavor beer with Mio. I used to do it at my brew pub. When I was kegging beers, I would do 1 keg, and we call it Wacky Wednesday, and we'd flavor it with different things, and 40 pints in a keg, and that would be it. And I definitely used Mio, and it turns out wonderful. The problem with, in this case, this is not a keg. These are bottles, and I don't believe that this is, actually it has sugar, and I read it. We don't want that because we're already putting sugar in. I don't want the bottles to explode. So if you were keeping it in a keg at cold temperatures, that keeps the yeast dormant, and it won't turn into a bomb, okay? A bottle bomb. So that's why I was able to do it in kegs. So what I'm going to do is the 2 that I don't flavor, we will, for my daughter, who doesn't like cherry for some reason, we're going to let her flavor them with these once she pours it into her glass. Now, I do believe you can get sugar-free meals, so stay tuned because I might try to locate those because they're such an inexpensive way to flavor, and they work incredibly well. You just have to be very careful that if you do it in bottles or a keg that's going to be at room temperature, we could have bad news. No bueno. Okay, so step number 1, I am going to take the cover off of this, and I'm going to take my little, I don't know what the hell you call this thing, suck up water, in this case seltzer bad boy. That's not a siphon, it doesn't matter. You people, turkey baster or whatever the hell it is. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to get a gravity reading. I don't have right in front of me what original gravity was on this, but it should be very straightforward, just water and sugar. But I want to get the final gravity on this, so we're going to do that. Steal some of that good stuff, which really kind of sucks. I hate taking away the good stuff because we could have drank that, and I knew it was going to take a bunch of these. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it because who cares? I'm really just, I could have sanitized this and put it back in, but not doing that. All right, maybe one more, and that should do it, hopefully. Will that float my hydrometer? Probably not, damn it. Holy jeez, there's not going to be anything left to drink. All right, so I'm going to check that off camera just because I do want a record of it. So what we're going to do when I come back, no, not quite, need a little more. When I come back, what we're going to do is we will start adding the sugar to the bottles, and then we are going to add the flavoring to the bottles. I got to figure out how much of each one I want. There we go, that's floating there now. Yeah, it was already in there, why not put it back in? Okay, and so we'll be back for that. I just got to get situated. I got to get organized. I got to figure out exactly how much flavor I'm going to put in this bad boy, and we'll be back for that. All right, gang. I did have a little pint break there. Okay, so the original gravity on this bad boy was 1.036. The final gravity was exactly 1.000. Which means the ABV should be 4.7%. Call it 4.5%. Something else I'd like to point out, which is very cool, is look how clear it is when I get it in the hydrometer. Crystal clear. So the tint is actually from the yeast bed and sugar. Well, the sugar be gone, but the yeast bed on the bottom is producing the yellowish tint because, again, crystal clear. Couldn't get any clearer than that, just like water. Well, it is water. So what we're going to do is flavoring wise, Brewer's Best. I don't have anything to go by mils. So what I'm going to do is 3/4 of a tablespoon of this bad boy in the bottle, half a teaspoon of, no, sorry, one, I'm going to do both. 3/4, bear with me, 3/4 teaspoon Brewer's Best, half teaspoon Brewer's Best, and then 1 teaspoon sugar. When it comes to the bubbly, I confirm there's no sugar in that, nothing fermentable, so we're golden. I'm going to do half a teaspoon, and then a teaspoon of sugar, and then the peach, half teaspoon of sugar, and it just dawned on me that I still have 2 more bottles available. I might not, so we'll wait and see. That's what I'm gonna do starting out, because I don't know how many this is actually gonna give me. So that's what we're gonna get going on here. Might as well, I'll do this off camera, but give you a little idea. I'm gonna start with the, it's just normal granulated table sugar, teaspoon. Just gonna take an even even as possible. You know what? I got a funnel here. So let's see if this bad boy will work for me. And it does. Perfect. Excellent. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through all the bottles and do that. I'll come back as we're adding the flavor. Okay, guys, sugar's all been added. We're now going to add the flavoring. I've also put some labels on the bottle so I know what's what. I'm starting with only 6. We'll see what happens. And clearly this is not going to be accurate by any means. I got to get some apparatuses that I can do mils. So anyway, we're going to do Brewer's Best Black Cherry, 3/4 of a teaspoon. I don't know how the hell you gauge 3/4. That looks like 3/4 to me. My brew cat just loves Star Sam for some reason. So that one is 3/4 cherry. This one is supposed to be half. Again, not going to be that accurate. Don't care. Don't care. Here's a beautiful thing: is if you don't like the flavoring, you can add more to it. Once we are in the once it's all been carbonated up, you put it in your glass. Add as much flavoring as you want. That's the beauty. Okay, so this one here is the peach bubbly. I'm going to do half a teaspoon of that. Hopefully it's not going to have a big cherry smell to it. Let me see. I do have some Star Sam here. I could give it a little squirt wipe here to get rid of any cherry flavoring on there. All right, let's do that. So it's at half a teaspoon again. How can you tell? Hard to gauge. And then we're going to do the that was the peach. Make sure I'm getting this right. My labels. I'm going to do same thing, half teaspoon of the bubbly cherry, and then the remaining 2 are just plain. Okay, so be right back as I get organized. I got to get my my siphon set up, and we're just going to start transferring over. This part of the process reminds me why I like the keg beer so much. Anyway, key is get the hose into the bottle, get her down low so it doesn't splash around. You don't want any splashing around. That's what I didn't like when they were saying dump it into the pot. We don't want oxygen in this thing. So, ooh, you can really smell. That is the cherry from the, which one's that? The bubbly. And can you ever smell it coming out of the bottle as I'm filling this up? And that's it, guys. So we're going to take her up just about to the beginning of the neck. And hopefully that'll, oh, this is, bottling is such a pain in the ass. Make a mess all the damn time. Forgot how much I hated bottling. Keg is so much easier, but 1 gallon batch, you don't have much choice. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna play around with this, get these going. I'll be back to, as we cap it up and recap what we did here and next steps. Be right back. All right, gang, we ended up with 6 bottles. Messed up a little bit. It happens. Dropped my hand pump funnel into the sediment. Kind of gets stirred up a little bit, so my plain bottles have some sediment in there. And then the last, there's a little bit left, but I said screw it, we're only doing the 6 bottles. Try it out. That one's got a lot of sediment, so hopefully they'll settle out. The flavored ones don't. They're very clear, so we're good there. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. So next steps, we're going to put these away for 2 weeks, room temperature, let them carbonate up, and we'll be back for the taste test. So subscribe to the channel because I will put the link. I will be uploading the video for the taste test. If you're into making beer, although it's a seltzer, I do have a beginner brewers boot camp you can sign up for. The link will be under this video as well. If you're been brewing beer for a little while, I used to own a brew pub, and I give away my top 5 personal best-selling recipes from my brew pub. So link will be under this video for you to get that as well. Any questions, reach out. I'm always here to help fellow brewers. That's it, guys. Big Rob, well, he's gone. Yeah.